I've been a walking heartache, I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be. But you stay here right beside me and watch as the storm blows through, and I need you. 'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt, and for when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you, gave me you. There's more here than what we're seeing, a divine conspiracy. That you, an angel lovely, that somehow fall from me. You'll always be love's great martyr, and I'll be the flattered fool, and I need you. Yeah, God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt, and for when I think
This video to me is an opportunity to show people the real side of rescue and how we have been able to take these cats and dogs and make them adoptable and show them love while they're with us. There's so many people willing to give up time, like Leanna on Sundays, and like our dog walkers, and like those of us who volunteer our time here, and how important it is to reach into your pockets and your wallets and to donate funding if you can't donate time, and to donate food if you can't donate time, or financial resources. That there are just so many different ways to give back. And by doing this video, it gives people an opportunity to kind of take a broad overview of what really goes on in rescue world. And it's not all about fixing our hair and dressing up or looking gorgeous or being able to sit through an interview without crying, because it's very emotional, and we care very deeply about the animals that are entrusted in our care. It's not a passing fancy with us. It's something that is very near and dear to our hearts and touches our lives on a daily basis. And for us, for my family, I mean, it is a family affair, and you well know it's a family affair, and as it is with a lot of our volunteers. So I hope that something in this video will touch somebody who sees it, that they'll see something in here that they could do, that they would want to do, that would make them want to get involved in some small way or some large way.
I'm Rosie.
I'm Josh.
We volunteer at Bruce Memorial Shelter. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, but before that, I adopted a dog that I took home as a foster. Her name is Nina, and she's a very, very good companion for me. And Josh, didn't you?
You sort of forced me to come over, but I decided I really liked it, so I've been here for about 1.5 years now. Don't plan on quitting.
We love the dogs so much, and they need our love and attention.
I've adopted 2 dogs from the shelter, and their names are Dobby and Sebastian.
When we come to the shelter on a Saturday or a Sunday, there's laundry to do, there's dogs to walk, there's kennels to clean.
And I stand around and pet the dogs.
Oh yeah, and they need loving too. Dogs need to be loved. They need to be fed too, and after they are fed, then they need to be taken out of their kennel so they can do their job outside, not in their kennel. A lot of times families come in and they want to look at a certain dog that they've seen on the website, and sometimes they just want to look at all the dogs because they haven't made up their mind. If they want a big dog, a little dog, a fat dog, a skinny dog, or a puppy or an older dog. So we show them all the dogs, and sometimes that takes a while till they can make a decision on what kind of dog would fit in their family to take home for a forever home.
Caesar is a 6-year-old declawed guy who was abandoned outside. Due to severe ear infections that went untreated, his ears have cauliflowered down to protect his ears from further damage. The damage to his outer ears is permanent, but we think it gives him a bit of a character. He will always have to have his ears monitored for infection, but being in a safe inside home will help prevent much of that. After extensive treatment to remove the infection from his ears, he is now looking for his true forever home.
I'm Trish,
I'm Amy.
and we foster for Princeton's Meow. We also
Help with the litter box change out monthly. We have a lot of help most times.
most times we do, but a lot of times we need a lot more help. I been fostering for Princeton's now for about 9 years or so. I just looked around and discovered all these little animals need home and love. That's why I got into it. A lot of the cats I foster are sick. Some of them are just are healthy and just waiting for a forever home. I just enjoy it. I wouldn't quit.
I did foster for a while, and I did love it, but I don't anymore because I now have 5 Princeton's cats that I couldn't let go of. That's called foster failure. I came in one day to sign up for volunteer, and after I did that, I went into room 3 and fell in love and adopted my first cat from Princeton's. So I've been here about 4 years, a little over 4 years, and I love it. All we want is to make life better for these precious
Little
cats.
animals that need so much attention, and we do what we can. I also clean PetSmart on Thursday evenings. I go up there and I do that, and we need help doing that. It takes about 45 minutes of your time.
And we help with the adoptions
Oh yeah.
at PetSmart, Petco. I transport the kitties who've been spayed or neutered from the spay-neuter clinic on Tuesdays and Thursdays, bring them back here. We just do whatever I guess is needed or whatever's asked of us, and we do it happily.
I don't think people realize how much goes into running a facility like this. There is the cats that need insulin every day. There's cats that need to be fed certain foods, cats that need medicine every day, sometimes twice or 3 times a day. Holidays, we come in, we clean. Thanksgiving, Christmas, we don't stop. We just keep doing, and we do what we can whenever we can.
And love on the kitties, of course. Volunteer.
Yep,
If you can't volunteer, donate.
it's a very rewarding experience.
Yes. To see these little guys who've been discarded, abused, mistreated, neglected, to find homes. As of this year, we have 340 adoptions.
That's right.
Max von Essen is a sweet shepherd mix who was adopted out as a puppy and returned to us after he became too active for his owners. Max is a nice dog, but he can be protective over his owners. He walks great on a leash and loves playing with his friends in the play yard. Max is eagerly awaiting his forever home at Ruth's Memorial Shelter.
Hi, my name is Denver Thomas, a senior kennel tech, or technician. I found the Humane Society at the fair when I was 13 years old. I saw the booth, and I've been volunteering and working since 2014, so almost 3 years. I like dogs. I like helping dogs. I did like a dog basic kind of obedience training with little kids for the animal camps. I did it 3 years in a row now, and I help assist with that. I don't really do lead in it, I just kind of help. But it's fun seeing the kids have the dogs do tricks and stuff. They do, yeah. Kids come back too. They seem to like it too. Basically, I take care of the dogs here, like feed, clean, medicate, socialize, that type of stuff. And I also show dogs to potential adopters that come in.
Ishmael is a senior fellow at 11 years old who came to us from a kill shelter after being found as a stray. Ishmael is front paw declawed, and he came to us suffering from emaciation and kidney issues due to severe malnutrition. He also had severe dental disease preventing from eating anything beyond wet food. We needed to get some weight on him and restore some of his health before he could have any anesthesia in order to have dental work done. It took nearly a year to get this boy healthy enough, but now his dental work has been completed and he is ready for a forever home to enjoy his golden years.
My name is Leanna, I'm 24 and I've been volunteering with the Humane Society for 5 years now because I love cats. I first got into volunteering, actually I was in the Afton Ridge PetSmart and I caught Princeton's Meow there for an adoption event, and I started reading that they were cage free, and I realized that this is the place that I wanted to be at. While I run the shelter here on Sundays, I come and do insulin for our diabetic cats. On one of the weekend nights I foster kittens, and I also clean Petco one morning a week, and pretty much whatever anyone asks me to do, I try to be here to do it. I guess if I had to say anything that's on my mind, I wish that more people, when they dump their animals or leave them, when they walk away, that they realize how much these animals suffer. I've held animals as they've literally grieved themselves to death, and I just wish that people understood that. They think that animals, especially cats, are uncaring or, don't really enjoy human interaction, but I mean, my cats and these cats are super loving and affectionate, and they crave attention and they crave their person and they miss them, and when you leave it literally can kill them because they can grieve themselves. So I wish more people would understand that.
Sheila Duplin is a shepherd mix who is quiet and sweet yet finicky. Sheila likes quiet walks and likes spending time with her people in a more quiet environment. She would be better suited in a home with only 1 or 2 people, as she can be very territorial.
Julie Zerhout. I'm a volunteer on the weekends at Ruth's Memorial, Saturday and Sunday, cleaning, feeding. I'm also an adoption counselor. So when Judy and Mike go out of town, they entrust me to make sure the shelter runs smoothly while they're out. I got involved about a little over a year ago. So I started volunteering because for two reasons. One, I love dogs and I wanted to be involved in volunteering. And second was more of a therapy for me. I was going through a tough time in my life and I needed to get out of the house and interact with people and just get myself back on track. Well, I lasted a whole 3 months of volunteering before I took a dog home. And she just turned 2 today. So she actually still has friends here. Sheila is one of my favorite dogs. But I love having her at my house, and she's been a great companion. I took home Ginger. She was from Richmond County at 4 months old, and she came here when she was little under 1, and I got her, and so now she just turned 2. She needs a lot of training, but she's been great. It's been great working with her and having a dog again. I haven't had a dog in several years.
Oliver has been with us since he was 5 weeks old and is now 5.5 years old. Oliver was semi-feral as a kitten and absolutely terrified of human contact. Couple this with the fact he had ringworm all over and severe respiratory issues, and we were in for a challenge. Oliver held out and remained stubborn in giving over his trust to humans, but boy did he love other cats. Upon moving to Princeton's, he became the mayor of his room, quickly making friends and helping all the newbies to feel comfortable, while still keeping us humans at a safe distance. Oliver developed feline herpes virus, which causes him to on occasion have a watery eye, but it has turned out to only be a minor issue for him. And as time has gone by, Oliver has mellowed with us, and now enjoys our attention and affection, and he still acts as the mayor, and he has quite the fan club with the lady cats in the room. Oliver hopes someone will give him a chance at a forever home with other feline friends to spend his days with.
My name is Jane Hamrick. I have volunteered for the Humane Society for approximately 7 years. I first got involved in it because when I retired, I decided I wanted to do volunteer work of some kind. And because I had had animals, I decided that I wanted to volunteer for a Humane Society. And I first started working with the day cleaner, actually helping her clean. We would clean, do food and water, keep the shelter clean and everything. I work adoption events, I work cat shows, I cleaned at PetSmart with Trish for a long time. Cleaning the habitats at both PetSmart and Petco are very important because they result in a lot of adoptions for us. We do have a team at each place that cleans, and I was part of that until I had to take some time off. I have 5 cats of my own, none of which are fosters, but 2 of them are cats that were dropped off here at Princeton's, and Princeton was not able to take them, so I took them home. Humane Society, all humane societies, but this one in particular, are remarkable organizations. They are manned by an incredibly dedicated group of people who care very, very much about the welfare of animals and their care and the fact that they need to be rescued, that they don't have a voice. So we actually have t-shirts that say "Be Their Voice."
Chewy Neal is a senior Chihuahua mix who was surrendered to our shelter by his owner when she could no longer care for him. He is a quiet little guy who enjoys playing with his friends in the play yard. He would love nothing more than a warm lap on a cool evening to snuggle up with.
Hi, we're Bill and Breda, and we are volunteers with the Humane Society, and we first came to the Humane Society 4 years ago and adopted 2 dogs, and then we got involved with volunteering, and we decided to foster a little hound that was very scared of everybody. His name was McCoy, and we fostered him from Christmas last year, actually 2 years ago, until August, when I insisted I wanted him for a birthday present. So we were a failed foster in that. Then we got another dog called Bobby Hull, who is a lab, and we fostered him for about a year. And of course, failed fosters again. We adopted him in July. But we're very, very happy, and we hope that more people will join the fostering program. I'm on the board of the Humane Society of Concord and Greater Cavaris. I work at events. I try to help as much as I can wherever I need it.
Yeah, you help. You take dogs to the vet. You go to the weekly to Walmart or any other place that has donations to pick them up and bring them to. You collect a lot of stuff for the sales from your friends. I can show you the mess in my garage, what that looks like. We can have our own garage. As a matter of fact, we can run our own thrift shop with the stuff that she collects. So, you know, you do a lot more than that. You try and help every way you can, you know, whether it's financially or just giving hours and time. You
and
really
it's
do a great
all
job.
for our beautiful, beautiful dogs.
Porter came to us very ill from a kill facility where he had been allowed to waste dramatically from intake with no vet care. Upon a trip to our vet, it was discovered he was severely diabetic and in need of insulin therapy. With proper diagnosis, faithful commitment to his treatment, and of course, lots of love, Porter has thrived from the 5-pound cat on intake to the 20-pound ball of love and happiness he is now. He now searches for his forever home where he can lay around and be admired.
My name is Mike Sims, the shelter manager at Ruth's Memorial Shelter. Started at the county shelter when Humane Society was operating kennel space over there, right through operating the entire facility to today where we just rescue dogs from there and cats. The reason I got into rescue was because my beautiful wife was in rescue, and that's what we could do together. So that's why I do it. To try to make things better for cats and dogs in Cabarrus County and surrounding areas. Probably the most rewarding is to see a dog leave and they're excited about their new possibilities. I guess especially when you see a dog come in that's knocking on death's door through God's grace and the caring hands of folks that are in the Humane Society, and specifically my beautiful wife. Be able to see a dog like that have as normal a life as possible. I guess what I'd say is, from a Humane Society perspective, we couldn't do it without all of our volunteers, all of our staff that take care of the animals. We couldn't do it without awesome folks like the folks that are at Whisker World event, Come to Spaghetti, all the events that our volunteers work so hard to plan and put together. We do it to try to give folks something to enjoy, something to look forward to, but also so folks can feel like they're part of the Humane Society. Oftentimes schedules, family matters, things like that get in the way of folks just actually coming into the shelter, the cage-free cat facility, time in the shelter. Maybe because someone's allergic, maybe because they simply don't have the time. This gives them an opportunity to give back and support the Humane Society. And from all of the animals' perspective, if we didn't have this facility, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We didn't have Princeton's, and then hopefully the new facility, once we get that taken care of, all those opportunities to save more animals. And without the awesome folks that are in this event and other events that the Humane Society sponsors and hosts, we would not be able to do those things. We have some really special people that really step up, and when a dog's hurting, hit by a car, sick, been jumped on by another dog, any number of reasons why a dog is in great need of surgical repair, if you will, folks will stand up and say, hey, here's $100, $200, $500, $1,000 to take care of whatever you need. That's a pretty special person that can do that. And I don't mean monetarily do it, but have it within their heart to give and to care. And without that, we would not be able to do what we do. Prime example is Hotch, the little fellow that came from Richmond County, heartworm issues, and had been hit by a car. Sentence was to euthanize little Hotch, but my beautiful wife said, no, this is a special little dog. We're going to do what we can do, see what we can do to help this dog. He's now been through his surgery. We'll be starting his heartworm treatment in a couple of weeks, and from this event in a couple of days. Again, could not do that without the awesome folks that come to these events, comes to this event, gives so freely and so openly. We just couldn't do those things.
Caleb Cassidy is a nice lab mix who is very active and is looking for an active family to spend his life with. He is playful and funny and loves to run and play outside in the big yard. He needs plenty of exercise and lots of toys to play with. He is ready for his forever home. Find him today at Ruth's Memorial Shelter.
I am Carrie Harper. And I'm Virginia, my daughter. We have been fostering since 2011, my senior year of high school. We kind of got into it. We had been coming up here to visit kittens and cats and just play with everybody. And then we saw on the Facebook page that they needed a foster for some FIV positive kittens until they could be retested. So that's kind of how we got into it. And here we are, 6 years later, and we are still fostering FIVs for the Humane Society, which is a really big deal because a lot of people don't know what FIV is and they think it's a death sentence, and it's not. They are just as healthy as other cats, other dogs, other animals, and it's species specific, so you're not going to get it from your cat, your dog's not going to get it from your cat, and people don't know that. So by fostering the FIVs for Princeton's, we're able to get the word out, and we've had several adopted, and you wouldn't know it just by looking at them.
We do intermingle FIV positives with our non-FIV kitties. Our biggest challenge, I think, is the Saturday adoptions. That takes a lot out of our schedule during the week. We take our kittens up, the kittens that are available for adoption, to Petco, to PetSmart, and spend the day with them, introducing to people coming up and hoping to get them adopted. Our motto is, if we can get one adopted, there's always room for one more. There's always a need somewhere. Volunteering, if you can't volunteer your time, if you could donate some money, $5, $2, whatever you can, it always helps going forward, helping us keep saving the kitties. Spay and neuter, always important.
And of course, if you can't donate money or foster, you can always come up and just pet the cats, play with the cats, scoop a box, wash a window, anything helps. And we have several volunteers who can't foster or they can't adopt because of certain things, and so they come up and they just spend time with the cats, which is always good because we have shy babies who need the attention and need to be loved and need to learn that people aren't bad because of the situation they've seen beforehand. Always consider adopting an FIV cat. Always, always. They are great. They live just as long. We've had some outlive cats that don't have anything. They're perfect. They're great. And they're special.
Hugo is a 6-year-old declawed fellow who was found abandoned with a local feral colony and suffering from a severe neck wound inflicted by members of the colony who did not welcome his presence. Without claws, he had no way to defend or protect himself. Due to this, Hugo has a strong dislike for other animals and requires a home as an only pet. Hugo is very loving and sweet when he has a person all to himself and enjoys being groomed, snuggling up in bed with his person, and being a spoiled fellow.
Rita Husky, 4 years. I just walk the dogs, love on them, clean some crates occasionally,
foster because I love dogs. That's it. I think adopting is the best way to go. I never thought I would say that because I had a full-blooded Doberman for 16 years that we had bought as a puppy. But we have since rescued one from here. Her name is Bella, and she is the sweetest thing ever. And we love her to death.
Wallace is a young Rottie mix who has been in our shelter for over a year. He was adopted out and returned when it was learned that he had separation anxiety. Wallace is a really nice, happy dog, but he prefers to be an only dog. He loves people and he loves running and playing in the yard.
Kim Ford. I knew the place downtown Concord. I had donated food there a few times and actually adopted a couple of cats from there. But I didn't like their setup. I couldn't do the cages. At that point I started stalking Princeton's. I had volunteered for 5 years at the Community Free Clinic and just got zero from it. Then I'd see them at Petco and PetSmart and I would look at them. And I got a friend who wanted a cat. I said, good, let me just go to Princeton's. And I'll get to kind of ride on your skirt tails, go in there and look around and snoop. Started following them on Facebook after that, and then they were having a big renovation. I'm going to do that. It was every night for a week. So I told Vanessa, whom I had talked to a couple of times, but she's kind of scary. So I told her that I would be here every night that week, and she looked at me and she said, really? And I was. Got my husband up here. And we got through the renovation, passed the inspection. And that was 5 years ago. And then I knew really quick I wanted to start fostering. It's the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. And for that reason right there, I get frustrated with people that go, I can't foster because I can't bear to let them go. So, but you can bear them getting euthanized because you didn't foster. So how can you bear that, but you can't bear letting them go? You've got to let them go. Now, I've failed on some of those, but I have failed with some of the more less adoptable cats.
Jerry Walters, a little bit over 2 years. I walk dogs. I had just moved here 2 years ago and was looking for some volunteer work to do, and I love dogs and have dogs of my own, so I decided this would be the ideal place for me to work. I do foster too, though. Yes, I have two. Well, I actually fostered 3. One of them, she's back over here now, but she had babies in January the 1st, New Year's Day, and her name is Allie. And then I have Angel, she's a white shepherd mix, she's a beautiful dog, real sweet. And then Susie, actually she was a friend's dog and the friend died, so they were going to have to put her in the dog pound, so they took her over here, and so then I decided to foster her, so that's how I ended up with her. Just seeing how happy they are. Life's not complete without a dog.
I'm Judy Sims. I'm the director of the Humane Society here in Concord. 16 years. Time flies when you're having fun. Started walking dogs when we were with animal control. I do it because I love animals more than I like people. I just love dogs and cats, and I love helping them because they can't help themselves. They need somebody to be a voice for them. It takes an army to do it, and I like being a part of that army. I have a passion for senior dogs. We typically take a senior dog that's on its last few years or months. His name is Max, and he's probably the only senior dog you've ever seen. He was billed to be a 1-year-old dachshund, and when we got to the shelter, he was an 11-year-old Chihuahua with a broken jaw. He is actually the reason. He is what started me volunteering at the Humane Society of Concord, because I was volunteering at a high-kill shelter in Mecklenburg County, and it was just breaking my heart to have to walk by and see all the deceased dogs. We adopted him immediately after his jaw broke. We had to have his jaw removed so his tongue hung out. We loved him to pieces. He had no clue that he was handicapped or ugly or anything, but he was, to us, he was as beautiful and studly as any other dog we ever had. Don't shy away from animals that have injuries or ugly skin or any anomaly that just makes them less than perfect, because those are the ones that need us the most. Those are the ones that I'm going to cry because of the one we just lost Saturday night. Because they're all beautiful and they all need love, and even the sick ones or the injured ones can give you so much love and they need us the most. Open your hearts and step outside the box and look inside their eyes and their souls and be willing to take a risk on an animal that may not be the most perfect and the most gorgeous one, because those are the ones that are going to give you the most love and dedication that you could ever imagine.
St. Paul's been with us since early 2013. He came to us as a terrified young adult, having been traumatized by life on the street and the uncaring hands of humans. It took great patience and care to help St. Paul learn to trust again. In early 2016, he began exhibiting issues with his back right leg, lack of weight bearing, and pain. Our regular vet took x-rays and discovered severe issues with his knee and referred us to an orthopedic surgeon. It was determined that St. Paul needed an ACL repaired in that knee to alleviate pain and give him back his mobility. That surgery was performed in April 2016 and he has recovered with great success. Now he just awaits his forever home.
My name is Taylor. I have been volunteering with Princeton's for a little over 2.5 years now. My goal in the end is to be able to foster, but I'm unable to at the moment, so I spend a lot of my time here at the shelter. I'm here at least 3 days a week. I do all of the off-site events at Petco and PetSmart for adoption events. I clean the Petco habitat, I train new cleaners, I'm the volunteer coordinator here at Princeton's. Set up a lot of appointments. I'm an adoption counselor. I show a lot of our kittens at Petco. I help out in a lot more ways to where it's still very beneficial. We always need more people to do what we do here at Princeton's. At the habitats as well, at the pet stores, we're always needing more people to help take care of new babies we put up there, like Renesmee's babies here, who will eventually make their way to the habitats and need somebody to help clean up after them. It's rewarding in more ways than anyone can ever think of to be able to hold a cat and know that you have had a part in saving their life and that you've helped given them a better life. Nobody else can hurt them in any way, shape, or form, and that you're always going to be a big part of who they turn out to be. What we do is more than what most people can handle, but it's so worth it in the end to be able to say that you are here to help and that you can step in and do something, even if it's a small thing for 5 minutes, or you're here every day of the week or a couple days a week.
Eileen Lisa, going on 7 years now. I had a neighbor that was very involved, and she had mentioned fostering. Didn't have a lot of time to spend at the actual shelter because of young children and working. When she told me about fostering, I said, oh, that's something I could do. And then about a week later, she called me. There was 4 dogs living alone in, one kennel, and they were parvo positive. So she asked me if I could foster. And I said yes, not realizing what it would. Andy, he was born here. They rescued his mom, who had come in pregnant, and she gave birth to 9 of them here at the shelter. And he was the last one left. He ended up coming down with parvo, so he ended up being one of my fosters. He got adopted and then returned for being too aggressive, and I fostered him again, but he was just such a perfect dog. I got invited to a foster event, but I didn't want to bring Andy because I knew he was going to get adopted. So that was a sign. Just to get involved, there's so many different ways people can help. For anything. You don't have time, there's other ways to help, and there's a lot of dogs out there that need some loving care before they get their forever home.
I'm Tara. I've been involved for 2 years. I've walked dogs, cleaned kennels, helped bathe, feed, clean, because I love helping out. Well, I had to do this for school, and I've just stayed ever since. Just loving on all of them. Come adopt dogs.
Kansas Clay. I'm a kennel tech, full-time. Coming in, feeding the dog, taking them out, making sure that they're given the right medicine in the evenings when we have to give them medicine, and then making sure their kennels are clean properly. I started in, I think the end of July I started. Oh yeah, I love it. I've always wanted to work with animals. It's just never kind of happened. I've always wanted to do something with animals. My older brother has 2 pit bulls. I have a 2-year-old Chihuahua and Toy Poodle mix, and then I have a 7-year-old red-nosed pit. Just getting to take care of the animals and seeing how happy they are.
Cisco is a handsome fellow who just recently came to us. He is unusual in that he has been diagnosed with heartworms, which are not commonly seen in cats. Unlike a dog, a cat cannot be treated with injections to kill heartworms because the medicine that kills the heartworms is also toxic to cats. He will need to be maintained on monthly heartworm preventative to slowly kill the heartworms over time. He will be retested in a year to see if the heartworms have cleared his system. He is looking for a loving indoor home where he will be safe from these kinds of things happening to him ever again.
Rachel Jones, forever. My kids got me started in it. Hannah my oldest daughter wanted to foster a dog because she was here on a Girl Scout trip and thought it'd be good to come back and fill out a foster form so we could start fostering dogs. I'm still here because I love the doggings. I love all dogs. And dogs were so much better than people. Easier to go what I don't do at the shelter. I do everything. Whatever needs to be done. Well, I'm a foster parent. I currently have 2 foster dogs. I can clean kennels. I help out if the kennel techs need help. I can wash dishes. I can give meds. I can make name tags. I can help with bedding. I can give vaccinations. Draw blood for heartworm tests. I can walk dogs. No, because if we don't have any room for foster failures. I just do it because I like dogs and I don't like people.
Be home tonight. I'm coming back home.
You can't do it without people like that. And we realize that. We realize that we can't do it alone. And so we put together events like this to let people see how awesome our volunteers are, how awesome our folks are, and how awesome my beautiful wife and our executive director is in running this organization.